Yeah, so big brain chatbots, it's turning conversations into clients. Our people want information right now. Being able to provide that, predict it, what are they going to ask for, have it on demand for them 24/7. Customize it. So when I talk to this AI concierge, it's like I'm talking to Marky. It's like I'm talking to Skylar. It's like I'm talking to J-Man because it answers on how I've trained it to answer based on my knowledge and expertise.
What's going on, world? It's not every day that I get to say that I'm hanging out with somebody I've been out on the road with for well over a decade. And here's what's crazy about us being out on the road for well over a decade. It's the fact that what we're going to talk about, you were talking about before AI, before ChatGPT, before Claude, before Perplexity, before Gemini AI. You were already on this, right? Look, and then a dog making an appearance. Wait, is that a real dog?
That's AI dogs.
That was AI. Because I'm like,
No, that's my real dog.
That's your real dog. I mean, he came in. He like, what's cracking like it? Today, we're going to talk about chatbots with my man, Jeremiah's J-Man, straight up out of Rochester, New York. What's going on today?
What's cracking, Marky? Yo, Rock City J-Man here. It's my pleasure, and I'm happy that you kept the receipts.
Look,
I talked about it first.
You did talk about it. Look, you even had me meet with people to talk about chatbots. And I'm going to be honest with you. I still have not, I know I dabble with a lot of AI. I'm still getting my head wrapped around chatbots. And one thing that well, first of all, explain, tell people a little bit about yourself, what it is that you do. Because you also global, man.
Yeah. So Jeremiah's J-Man, I'm based out of Rochester, New York. I'd like to say now I'm an AI strategist. You know, I help people formulate strategies to amplify their business, regardless of whether it's real estate or whatever it is. It's kind of really what I enjoy. Is like, what's the problem you're trying to solve? Let's use artificial intelligence to make it better. And so that was a natural fit when the chatbots came to be.
So I'm going to take it back a little bit. I don't know if Rapid was where we first met. I know that it was relatively early, right?
Rapid.
Yeah. Rapid. Now, instead of just doing a freaking PowerPoint presentation, what was your preferred tool to display what the next level PowerPoint was? Prezi, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't know if I can get my head wrapped around this, right? And so you have always been the person who's taken technology to the next level, but we met in Wichita, Kansas, and your first presentation I saw you present was Prezi to other instructors from across the country. We were there with education directors, and since then, our relationship has taken us all across the country. We hung out together up in Minnesota with our guy in his recording studio. So we've been out here in these streets for quite some time. And you were talking about chatbots, I want to say 2019, 2018. Is that about right?
Yeah. And at the time, right, it was ManyChat that we were talking about. And when you're on the cutting edge, sometimes you're there before the people are ready. I think that might be the best way to say it. Or like, yo, you guys got to get on these chatbots. You don't understand how great it is. And like, I could see the vision. I could see where it was going. And people were like, huh? And then 2 years later, people were like, oh, ManyChat. That's great. I love it.
Wait a minute, J-Man.
Yeah.
Now I'm confused. Are we talking about the same ManyChat from then is the same ManyChat from now that my son has leveraged to generate 1,700? Now, you know what? I didn't put those two together. You said we're going to talk about what's the difference between ManyChat and Big Brain Chatbots, which is your proprietary chatbots. But I did not put together that the chatbot from 6 years ago was the world-renowned chatbot that allows you to essentially go from a Instagram post to your customer relationship management system where you get to nurture the relationship, and is the tool that my son Skylar has used. Oh, this is getting ready to get interesting. ManyChat is the tool that my son Skylar has used in order to generate over 3,300 leads in the past 24 months. That has led to over $330,000, averaging $165,000 per year in gross closed income. Is this the same freaking Manny chat that you
Yes,
introduced
ma'am.
me to?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, now it all makes sense. And
Yeah.
so, what we're going to talk to real estate professionals today about is how they can request a ready on any post, and then the chat bot will come and lead them down a conversation and
Yeah.
deliver to them items of value in order to nurture the relationship with the buyer or the sellers in a marketplace. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Yeah.
tell me about big brain chatbots and how do you help licensed real estate professionals?
Yeah. So big brain chatbots, it's turning conversations into clients.
Hmm.
Our people want information right now. They don't want to wait for you to call back. They don't want to, no. If you ever been on a phone system, we're like press one, and you're like representative, right? They want that information right now, and so it's being able to provide that, predict it. What are they going to ask for? Have it on demand for them, 24/7. Okay, that's one part of it, but then customize it. So when I talk to this AI concierge, it's like I'm talking to Marky. It's like I'm talking to Skylar. It's like I'm talking to J-Man because it answers on how I've trained it to answer based on my knowledge and expertise. So that's the big differentiator. It's not just, well, I can go to ChatGPT and get that. No, you can't, because it's my answer. It's my 21 years of real estate experience that it's replying with. And now I'm providing this concierge level service where people, NAR says they're doing their research 6 to 24 months before they decide to take action. And when they find that agent that has that information, he's going to be the one or she's going to be the one that they choose to go with.
So I'm hearing a couple of things here. I'm hearing speed to lead, right? So you're doing it faster, but more importantly, it's not the fact that you're doing it faster. You have a system set up.
Smarter.
So faster, smarter, more consistent, leveraging your data that you have fed it over time. And essentially it has its J-Man second brain.
Correct. Yeah. I clone myself so it's available on demand. And it's going to be different for everybody. Right. And I think that's the power of it. It's customized to you.
So I'm hearing now, besides the speed to lead, we are going to do it in their voice, their style, and their tone. And when they think about leveraging AI is pulling all of the data from the internet essentially into its ecosystem. And when we talk about something being in your voice, your style, and your tone, it's a filter layer where think about a strainer, right? Whether you pour your fruit in there, the water drips down, it fuels everything off. And so you're going to put this layer in there. It's going to be customized to the individual agent. And in addition to being in their voice, their style, their tone, you are going to leverage whatever kind of documentation they have that could be accessible via maybe their Dropbox or their Google Drive that can now respond to the potential buyer, seller, or investor. But now I'm thinking, because you said that these conversations can go in different ways, this is a lot, that you have a mind map that dictates how these conversations go based on their response?
Yeah, because here's why it's better than ManyChat, right? When I was doing ManyChat, you just said it. The mind map and the flow chart that you have to create is extensive. If they say this, do that. If they say that, do something else. And the big challenge is it works great with social media. If it's a static post and you're like, yo, comment first timer in the comments and we'll send you your guide on how to buy a home with no money down. That works perfectly. But if I'm doing a live stream and I say, J-Man's guide, they don't always reply with exactly what you tell them to, right? They go, please send me J-Man's guide, please. Guy, it's never exactly right. And the way triggers work is if it's not exactly what the trigger is, it won't work.
Fire.
Mm-hmm. Right. It won't fire off. And so now with what I've built, it's intelligent. And I love how you said layered, because the first layer is knowledge base. And so I have it so that the creativity's turned almost all the way down and it goes, find the answer in the knowledge base first. If you can't find it there, then access GPT. If you can't find it there, then go to the internet. Because if I'm providing something to my client, it damn sure better not hallucinate. It better not make up an answer that's not correct, that's not factual, that's not in line with fair housing, which, code of ethics or anything like that. So we have the creativity turned all the way down. I'd rather it say, you know what? I'm not sure about that. Contact Marky for further information. And then on the back end, we know when those questions are unanswered, we can answer them and then add them to the knowledge base as well. So it gets smarter as you use it.
I love what you just said, and here's why. Yesterday, I was teaching at the University of Chicago, and what I love about teaching at the University of Chicago, it is my most diverse group. But yesterday, a librarian from the library at the University of Chicago attended the class, and I could see her profound level of appreciation every time I told the audience that they needed to be a human in the loop. And the reason I'm saying this is you've turned the creativity down and you've given it levels on which to check for data. And if they can't find the accurate data, don't answer freaking at all. Say, hey,
Right.
this is a question only Marky can solve, right? But what I was explaining to her, we're in a very regulated industry. And at the end of the day, we have to adhere to license rules and regulations of the state we're licensed in. We have to adhere to the Realtors Code of Ethics if you're a Realtor member. We have to adhere to fair housing rules and regulations, federal, state, county, and city. And we also have this thing called the Department of Justice when it comes to a signed buyer representation agreement. And so I kept telling them, because they want to automate everything using tools like N8N and Make.com. And I'm like, I actually spend more time reading now than I've ever read in the past. Because yes, it's creating the content. And yes, I'm putting out more content. But I dare not put it out and I or someone on my team not lay eyes. There still needs to be human accountability for public-facing content.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
So then we were using this tool before this tool was popular, and you were using it at the highest level because we were doing live stream videos with comment, and it was communicating while we all online joking.
Yeah.
So how have you seen this work effectively at its highest level?
Well, it works for any industry. Let's start there. But, real estate agents, it works great. Brokerages, it works great. But even, we have some clients that we're working with at the real estate board level because, they talk about saving staff time. They're picking up a phone to answer a question about how many hours you need in the state of Chicago for licensing. That could have been automated, right? Or, hey, I'm going to CE today. Where's the parking? Is there lunch provided? Right? Where can I get lunch? And so you're paying these high level folks to do low level work. Doesn't make sense. So on average, it's 10 to 15 hours of staff time is saved per month, not answering these questions. Now the staff is freed up to do high level tasks that help your members, right? And any business and any real estate team.
I love that because I never thought about leveraging it just for one department at the association, right? And instantly what you talked about was the education department. And every time around CE renewal, right? In our state, we all renew at the same time, but brokers 1 year, managing brokers another year. And so historically, the association would bring in some type of temp staff around renewal time, right? Around renewal time and CE renewals just to fuel these questions. So technically, every realtor association could hire you for renewals, dues renewals, and then for CE seasons contingent upon the state to answer essentially the same question from 90% of the people who are calling in. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, see, Wait, so now I'm thinking that seasonal help, but it works in off season. So when you get those random phone calls as well.
Yeah. For example, we're working with a board in Colorado that has like very strict sign regulations. Like you can't have your signs out for open houses and this, and it's in Breckenridge, Colorado, I think. And so everybody's calling all the time about that on a weekly basis. And then it's so strict that they even have signs that the agents can sign out for the board to use for their open houses. And so then they're like, okay, well, how can we automate this? Well, let's just put a Calendly link in there to reserve the signs. Boom, done. Right? Oh, you want to meet with staff? Perfect. Each staff member has their own Calendly link to set up an appointment to meet virtually or meet in person. Now they don't have, if I'm a member and I'm frustrated, what do I want? Help. I don't want to leave a message. I don't want to, so to be able to schedule something with a staff member and feel listened to, another level of service is gone to a whole nother level. And then the next phase of that is when they have events or they have educational type things. Here's your handout. Here's your feedback form. It's all in there. Everything's in there.
So you actually just solved a problem that I hadn't thought about, and that is the fact of bringing in the Calendly link. Because oftentimes licensed real estate professionals, they're running all day. Their schedules are booked. We should not have conversations in front of clients about other clients' information because we owe confidentiality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so having that Calendly link, having the time booked off, maybe 10-minute increments, that if they go in, they'll realize you're booked for the duration of the day, but they know that you can answer their question tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they have a meeting signed up with you. Actually, it's pretty genius. And getting a hold of your schedule, if you are a person who likes to work in time blocks and you're adhering to all the rules. And I don't think licensees who are listening to this conversation paid attention to what I just said. You should never stop picking up the freaking phone. You should never discuss one client's information in front of another client because you owe them confidentiality. And I think that we need to start conveying that to our clients when we are getting assigned by a representation agreement. There will be times in which I am not available because I owe you confidentiality. I'm not going to pick up the phone and discuss another client's information in front of you, and I'm going to give you the same identical respect. Therefore, I have this link available for you. They could call you or that you can give them the link that you can schedule time with me in 10-minute increments when I'm not with the client to ensure a confidential conversation. Guess what? I promise I doubt very few people have ever done that because I'm hearing too many people's conversations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no question. In the hallway, wherever yeah, when they're out showing houses. But it's, so the chatbot is an overlay on your website, but it's also a URL that you could provide at any time. So when you go exclusive, you have them sign that buyer broker agreement. It's like, hey, at any time, like I have some clients that are nurses that work nights, 3:00 in the morning, they're in there like, how long should my closing take? When do I, and getting all these questions answered. But to your point about the Calendly, that could be right. You could leave that on your voicemail. Hey, you got any questions related to real estate? Go to our real estate concierge, manfam.com, and you can schedule an appointment. We'll talk to you virtually or on the phone, whatever you prefer. Then it's like at your convenience, I'm providing this service anytime you need me. Now I'm not available anytime, but I'm providing the service anytime. Right? Yeah.
And I had never thought, and I would say I'm a heavy Calendly user, right? But I'm going to go right now and set up that different link that we just talked about, a 10-minute. If you got a question, get on my calendar because I owe all of my clients confidentiality. Okay. So I know it's more because you were just getting started. So I'm loving how we're using it with the associations. I'm loving how a real estate agent, well, one, the fact that they could come to your website or you could just give them the link to your chatbot.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, because not everybody's gonna. We build these great websites. I'm like, you got to go there. You got to go there. And like, I've been using Pillow for so many years. I'm not changing. I like it. I got my save there. You're not going to make me go to your website. However, you provide me access to your concierge off the site. All the information that I have on there. Mine has like a learning library for buyers, for sellers. It has join my VIP client list right there. So there's ways to kind of build your database for people that aren't working with you currently. What is my home? What is my home worth? Of course, would be on there. Relocation guides, any guides that you create using, deep research feature within GPT or however you're making your guides. All those things. It's available.
What's the number one way you're seeing it used for the purpose of lead generation?
Lead generation, I would say the guides, right? Like you're driving traffic to a funnel wherever you created that. There's so many CRMs. I don't want to mention any, but a landing page within your CRM that then takes them down a path, whether that's go high level or something like that. You could say.
So let's come back for a second. And I don't think that a lot of real estate agents understand what is happening right now, like literally right now. Google, if you look at any of your different search portals, right, they're not getting the traffic they used to get because of answer engine optimization. That means that for licensed real estate professionals, if you don't have any content on the internet, your own freaking content, you're not going to come up in any form of the answer engine optimization searches, which also now means because of filtering, right? It pulls all the data in. You're not coming up in a ChatGPT, Gemini AI, Perplexity, and or Claude search. Essentially, you're almost dead on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Right. You're dead, right? And I don't think they know they're dead right now, but they're freaking dead. So something that you and I've been preaching for decades at this point, right? Probably might have been taught. What year did you come into real estate, J-Man?
2005.
So, okay, so we've been here the same time. So for 2 decades, right? We've been talking about lead generation, okay? That means, and for at least a decade, we've been talking about leveraging video for lead generation. Based on artificial intelligence, answer engine optimization, generative engine optimization, and search according in the portal, a real estate professional with no content right now is forced to leverage the landing page inside of the customer relationship management system to do a call to action, whether that's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah, even direct mail, really, if you want old school, more traditional.
Yeah, direct mail, especially if you want listings, right? Because they convert substantially better for listings. Well, yeah, listings than they do for buyers. So they almost need to have the chatbot to communicate while they're doing the live video, to get people into the customer relationship management system, to create speed to lead, to nurture the relationship. And I'm still hearing people talk about how they used to do business. When you hear that, I need you to be candid. What did you really hear? Let me go first then, because you don't want to say it. I heard that you're old, antiquated, archaic, and that you would never be my competition because you don't have systems set up and you will have to work for the rest of your life. And you are operating your business to provide you with the lowest return on time and investment. Now, what would you say? Because you didn't know I was going to just be that honest.
No. So I would say when I hear that, I go, oh man, you really want to do something else with your life, I suppose, besides real estate.
You want to do something else with your life?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it is good. It's like evolve or evaporate, right? Like you have to. This isn't what 10 years we talked about video. And did they get away with not doing it everywhere? Yeah. This is not the time. This is not the time for you to go, man, that AI, that's just a fad like breathing and pockets and the internet. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can't.
Not pockets. Did you say like pockets? Oh my God.
Yeah, I
Look,
hate when I have pants that don't have pockets. It's just it's all,
I hate when I have pants and or a dress or a skirt that does not have pockets. It's like breathing in pockets. Oh God, I gotta use that. Oh, and you know what? I think we've had so many peaks and valleys, right? What I feel now is what we preached 20 years ago. I actually feel more validated now for telling people to put out content there when you can go
yeah.
and do a search inside of ChatGPT or Perplexity and Claude, and you physically come up and you know it's from the years of putting content online that people talked about and rolled their eyes. So today it will be harder and more expensive for a real estate agent to cultivate online leads. It's like they're almost forced. Watch this, J Man. I don't know this to be a fact, but watch this. To cultivate a lead, that Zillow can actually start charging more for leads. I'm going to be the first to say it. Any online platform right now that is lead generating because they put out more content than any licensed real estate professional has ever done, Zillow can charge more money today for a lead than they did 2, 3 years ago because they know you couldn't compete then and had to use them. If you couldn't compete with them 5, 10, 15 years ago and you still haven't put any content out, you sure as hell can't compete with them today.
Gotta pay.
Mm.
I mean, and I think homes.com it's going to be right there too because they have a $1 billion marketing budget.
Dang. Well, you know what? This just added sometimes we don't pay attention to everything at the same time. Like it's virtually impossible, right?
Yeah.
Me talking to you, I've had several revelations in this one record, right? Praise the Lord.
Say it again, Mark.
And the first one is I now have a clearer picture around acquisitions now. And it is because the agents, oh shoot, things just got scary, J Man. That mom pop company will always have to work harder at a lower return because most of them don't have any content.
Yeah, they can't compete.
Oh, things just got real.
Well,
So-
and
Realer. Because here's the thing. Most people aren't thinking about that.
yeah,
No, I'm dead
Yeah, but-
serious.
no, and you're right, 1,000%. And like you said, with acquisitions and many becoming more, how about that? Many becoming more, the consolidation of all of those tech stacks nearly impossible. But in the trying to achieve that, they're going to lose all that they've already done, right? If I'm a company and I created content for the last 20 years, but now I was gobbled up by another company, they're going to want me to get rid of that content. It's gone because it's not on brand. It's not that company's brand anymore. So now you have company. Let's say there's 10 or 15 companies that became one. You see where that's headed.
I didn't think about it that way. But now I'm thinking about how many times have we told agents to use their name or to have their own domain, right? All of that is playing a role in this. And all I can say is I wasn't looking, and I'm sure the picture's even bigger, but this conversation has definitely added another layer. And I have a little bit of fear that I did not have before. And the reason is we're seeing answer engine optimization. When AI hit the street, this is not what we were thinking about, right? Now, for us, yeah, we feel validated because we've been preaching the same thing for decades. But for the people who haven't listened, they really do not even understand what this cost is going to be long term to their real estate business. Essentially, I'm not telling anybody they can't remain independent. What I am saying, if you're independent and you've never created any content, the cost for you to do business will be more expensive than people at big brands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so what's the first thing a real estate agent needs to do based on?
Call me.
Call me if
Yeah.
you need someone to talk to. Oh, look, and they can talk to you about a lot of stuff.
They could talk to me. They can go to, they can go to bigbrainchatbots.com, schedule a consult with what we have already set up there. They can go to jmanbot.com to play with my own AI concierge that I've created that I use as like a value add for agents. When I'm on a stage and I say, "Hey, you want my prompts?" Boom, go to jmanbot and put in prompts. You'll get them. You want today's handout? Go there. You got it. On demand. I know you want me to give you something at the end where you can give me your email address that you give to everybody and you never check your Hotmail or I don't know, folks. You put in an AOL.
AOL. What?
I think you're in the wrong class if you have an AOL.com account, folks. Please slowly back out of the room.
Yeah, we just signified. I've in the last couple of weeks, I've been in a couple of classrooms or events that were very interesting, and the tech divide, it's humongous. To the point that people don't know how to minimize their browser. They don't know how to download a file as a PDF. And I don't even know how we get from there to where we are right now. And I don't even profess to be like this tech guru, right? I know what I know in AI in order to operate my business. And I do believe that I'm in the 1% of real estate users, but I'm not in the 1% of tech users.
Right.
Right. And it's a difference.
And I would say I'm also very techie, but I'm not like most people would think. Like people ask me, "Oh, how does that work?" Works great. Here's how you use it for your business, right? I break it down to its simplest form. That's my superpower. Now, when I'm talking about automations and making this go from go high level to over here and be added to my CRM. Oh, that CRM doesn't work well with that. Makes my head hurt. But I know how to do it. I know how to bring on people that specialize in it. And I go to Upwork.com. I find me an automation engineer. I got 2 of them, one in Nigeria, one in India. They tell me, "Oh, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to go to Macon. I'm going to do this. And then we're going to trigger in the webhook." And I'm like, "That's great. Just do it and let me know when it's done."
Voila.
Fine. And this is where, when you say like that tech divide, they may not ever get there. But if they can get to the point where we can help them hire the right people, then they keep doing what they're doing. Face-to-face relationships, helping clients.
I think, J-Man, though, my concern with that is that so many don't have a business plan or a strategic business plan, and they haven't allocated the budget to invest in their business. And what I just heard you say was you are investing in your business. You're seeking out the help that you know that you don't have, and you paid for it, right? Everybody wants a free tool. We can't even get them to spend $20 a month for ChatGPT or for Gemini. And I'm like, it's the best $20 you'll ever spend, because on each of these platforms, I have, just between projects and schedules or tasks, $300,000 worth of employees for $240 a year. So you need to have a plan for your business, understanding who your target audience is, where they spending their time. But there has to be an allocation of some money in order to shore up what you don't know, in order for it to be automated, because that's where you get your time and your energy back. And so definitely, J-Man, you are ahead of the curve. So we're going to tell people they're going to go and get themselves a big brain chatbot with none other than, guess what? I'm just going to say you put me on. Not only did you put me on the Prezi, you put me on the Manny Chat well before AI and this whole Instagram integration they got going on as one of the preferred Facebook tools. I think that you can use it with Facebook. Is it WhatsApp and Facebook Business, right? And I want to thank you for your time, energy, and resources, as always remaining cutting edge. But today, baby, you made me put my thinking cap on. I'm going to have to go back and rethink some things. So tell people where they can come in order to hire you so that you can save them time, energy, and resources.
Yeah, jmanseminars.com. That's the website. You can book us on there, schedule a consult. That's free. And we'd love to, come up with a customized strategy to help you implement AI into your business.
All right, everybody. Want to thank you for tuning in to Social Selling Made Simple. Now is the time to start leveraging AI in your business if you want to increase your productivity, lead generation, and income. Thank you, J-Man.
Thank you, Marky.